Hello, happy to be joined today by Dorothy Fahn. Dorothy, thank you so much for taking the time.
No problem.
So, let me just start with the usual. Tell me about some things you've been working on that you can talk to us about.
Interestingly, I can't really talk about anything I've been doing lately. I can say what they are. I'm working on a game, actually. And they make you sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreement. You can't talk about them, can't say what they are, can't say what you're playing. So yeah, it's a game, and I'm playing several smaller roles, like mid to small roles in it. And I couldn't even tell you the title, because they have code names for games. Did you know that?
Yeah, I was aware they keep that stuff pretty close to the vest.
Yeah, like when I worked on Fallout 4, the code name was Angelina.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even know, when I went in, I thought I was working on a game called Angelina, and I was like, oh my God, it's Fallout 4. Okay. And I'm doing some live action stuff.
Cool.
It seems that, we used to get live action stuff fairly regularly, from other countries that they dub into English, either movies or TV shows or even cartoons, like from France or Russia or someplace. And but now there's even more than ever. Like Netflix is getting these projects from different countries and dubbing them into English. And I'm just thinking, who's going to watch a dubbed something on Netflix? But I guess there's a market for that. So I've been doing a lot of that lately. It's actually kind of fun.
Well, good. I'm happy to hear it. So let me ask, what first made you take an interest in acting?
That's such an interesting question. Because when I was in elementary school, and for most of my life, I was really into art. I would draw, animals and people, portraits and things like that. Art was my thing. But when I was in like third grade, they realized that I was really good at memorization. So they gave me the lead in the plays because I could remember the lines. That's how I got into acting. Like they gave me the lead of the witch in the Halloween play and the Empress of Japan in the Japanese play. And after that, it was like, okay, art and acting, both of those, all the way through high school. And then once I got out, art was just my sideline thing. And I did stage plays and musicals everywhere. And that's what got the ball rolling for acting.
Is that something you still do as far as art is concerned?
Not as much. A little bit. I drew a portrait of my husband and his favorite singer, Frank Sinatra. And I drew a portrait of Paul McCartney and just like people. Sometimes I'm just inspired by a face. Like I'll see a photograph and I'm like, oh, what a great face that is. And I'll have to draw it. I drew a portrait of Meryl Stryfe one time from when she was younger, when she had long hair, like, what movie that was. I don't know. But I'm like, oh my God, this is so great. I have to draw it.
Wow. Well,
yeah. So yeah, I do that.
Multi-talented.
Yes, multi-talented. I'm a Renaissance woman.
Yes, absolutely. Well, let me ask, who has had the biggest impact on your career?
Oh my God, so many people. It's
yeah, no, it's kind of an unfair question.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Nowadays people pursue voiceover. That's like a thing you can do. It's so many people are into that. They want to do anime, they want to do games, they want to pursue that. But when I started out, there was very little of that. There was no anime on TV.
Right.
There was barely any internet in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now people can watch anime, they can watch the dubbed, and they can like practice and, do their thing. But I was just an actress. doing, stage and the occasional commercial, when a guy that was working with my husband, his name was Victor Garcia, he came in one day and said to my husband, Tom, hey, you're an actor, right? I got this project from a guy I know. It's from Japan. It's like a Japanese cartoon. It's called anime. And they want to, record it in English. So you're an actor, right? Would you be interested in doing that? And he's like, and your wife's an actress, right? Would she want to do that too? Do you think? So Victor Garcia is probably the number one person for the reason that I have a career in voiceover, because he got us started in like Macross and Orgus and just those really, really early shows.
Yeah.
After that, it was let's see. Kevin Seymour at Magnitude 8 was huge because he gave me so much work, and he gave me my very first boy character roles, which I never even thought I could do. And he's like, no, you know what? I can hear it. I know you can do that. So I'm like, wow, great. That just expanded the amount of roles that I can do. Yay. And Bang Zoom, Eric Sherman at Bang Zoom. I did so many early anime with them, all the way up to Rurouni Kenshin and, just a bunch of other shows. That was, that was a career just in itself, working for Bang Zoom. I still work for them now and then, not as much, because, there's this whole hot, new, young crop of VO people that they use. And it's like, great. These guys are so great. And Mary Elizabeth McGlynn gave me, she said, we were working on Naruto, first of all. We were working on Naruto. I was playing this part called Mabui, and I don't know, a couple little parts here and there. And then this character, Conan, comes along in the series, and she's like, Dorothy, I want you to play Conan. And I'm like, can I hear her? And she plays it, and I'm like, whoa, this is not like anything I've done before. She's very serious, and everything is, and I had never played anything quite like that. And she's like, I know you can do it. I want you to do it. You're Conan. So, when people that you work with have faith in you and they trust that you can do the job, that's huge. That's basically your career, is that.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah, just going back for a second, boy, I remember those dark ages of anime. I always like to tell the joke because it was a real thing. I drove from where I grew up about an hour to the nearest mall, and there used to be Camelot, and they'd carry anime, but it was like you had Disney and traditional family animation, then you had anime, and then you had porn on the other side of that. Like anime was just sandwiched in between Disney and porn.
That's great. Well, I mean, you got hentai, so bridges the gap.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only anime that I even knew of was I tell people was Speed Racer and Kimba.
Yeah.
That was it. When I started doing anime, that's all I knew.
I mean, that was more than a lot of people back in the day.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you come home from school and God, what is on? Is there anything on? What's on PBS? Ooh, that looks interesting. Okay.
Right.
It's from Japan. I don't care. It's cute.
So.
Yeah, we knew nothing.
Yeah. How much has the industry changed in terms of like just what you have to do as an actor?
Well, it's changed because now it's huge. Back then there was a handful of people working on, a good amount of projects. Now there's like a gazillion people working on a gazillion projects. It's like a machine now. Before it was like an offshoot. It's like, oh, this is something else I can do, while I'm doing my theater and whatever. But now it's people's entire lives. It's their career. They pursue it. And they get involved in that, and then they work, and then they start to direct, and they become directors, and it's just amazing. It's amazing to me because it's not a path that I ever saw myself going down, and I'm glad that it happened, though, because it's just so creatively fulfilling.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I answered your question. I kind of went off on a tangent.
No, I think that's a great response, just because, yeah, in terms of just the process, it seems like the process doesn't change so much as all the accoutrements, so to speak, between the technology and the way that the industry has progressed. I think that's a pretty good response there. What has been the biggest challenge for you so far?
Well, the biggest challenge in all of our careers, of us who started out, back in the 90s, was learning on the job. This was completely uncharted territory when we started doing it. It wasn't like doing a cartoon where you go in with a bunch of people and you all have your scripts, and they say, okay, we're going to record the first 2 pages, go. And you act off of each other like a radio play.
Right.
Completely different. You go in there and you're by yourself and you've got the script and you have to match the animation that's already there. It was bizarre in the beginning. It's like, God, so we had to learn that skill, the timing, and also act at the same time. Well, this is something you've never done before. So that was challenging in the beginning. Once you found your groove, then it was like, okay, I can do this. Okay. Oh, okay. I know how to do this now. But it was, no one ever taught us. There were no voiceover for dubbing classes back then that I knew of, that I'd ever heard of. So that was super challenging. But great. Everything is different now. There's a class for everything. There's a workshop for everything, to guide your career path in voiceover for anime and or voiceover for games. Back then, there was nothing. There was voiceover for commercials, basically. That was mostly all there was, which was not super duper helpful for what was coming along. So
right. I'm curious to know, because your career spans, like you said, it going from this really sort of niche product to something that can be seen. You can find stuff that you've been in at Walmart. You can go in, you can go in the store, you can look. Hey, there's Fire Emblem 3 Houses. There's all these promotional materials for it and stuff. And you're like, oh, I'm in that game. Cool. Yeah. When did you first start to see, like, oh wow, this actually has a pretty significant following? When did that first start to hit you?
Well, it's interesting, because I guess when I started getting more and more work, I realized, okay, obviously someone's interested in this thing that I've never heard of before.
Right.
And when I started like seeing the stuff in stores, like I would go and there would be an anime section. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in that. Oh, I'm in that. And I'm in that. And I'm in that one and that one. So it was like, okay, this is getting really big. And by the time we got to like Rurouni Kenshin, it was pretty huge. And I went to my first or second convention. I went to a convention way back when we were autographing our VHS tapes.
Oh yeah.
Of like Orgus or something. And it was very small and it was really fun. And it seemed like an anomaly to me. Okay, why did these people want this? Whatever. It was fun. We got a little trip to San Jose, I think it was. But then after like Rurouni Kenshin and, oh God, so I can't even remember all the shows we did. I got invited to another convention and I went there and I had never seen anything like that. It was like, I think it was OhioCon, and it was huge. And there were a bazillion people walking around. And I was like, whoa, what is this? It was like mind blowing to me. And I'm like, okay, this is a really big thing now. Now this is a really big thing.
But
it was great.
Excellent. how do you stay motivated? Because I think that's a good question that everyone can relate to. Some days it's just like, we're recording this on a Monday, and it's like, oh, it's a Monday. So what keeps you motivated? How do you keep pushing yourself forward?
Well, it's the creativity thing. If you're an actor, and if that's what you're pursuing, or even a musician or an artist or whatever, that means you're a creative person who needs that in their life. It's like part of who you are. Intrinsically, you need to create. And so, every time you get behind the mic, you're creating something, you're acting, you're discovering this character and, in this scene, in this relationship. And as an actor, you got to do that. If there's no creativity, you like wither and die. As a creative person, you have to continuously create. So that's a super motivating factor. I need to keep working because as a creative person, it like feeds my soul, And there are times when it's very, very challenging. Like if you're working a 4-hour session, just you working on a game, you'll work for an hour and then you'll get like a 10-minute break. Then you'll work for another hour and you get maybe 15-minute break, another hour, 10-minute break, final hour, and you're gone. But it's exhausting. A 4-hour session on a game can be very, very taxing.
Certainly.
So but you have to keep in mind, okay, you know what? I'm being creative. You got to, keep yourself hydrated, keep your energy up so you can give a great performance because that's what you do. Yeah, you're an actor. You have to act. You have to create. Voice acting is acting. Some people look down on voice acting. Oh, it's not really acting. It is acting. Voice acting is acting. So that's what motivates me through those long sessions when you're tired. And some people will sit if it's a 4-hour session, and I can't because then my energy just disappears. So I'll be standing for 4 hours. But yeah, that's what motivates me. It's just the creativity. I have to create. And also I have to pay the mortgage. So, got to keep working.
Yeah, that is a motivating factor as well. Okay, I want to ask you about something that's really important here. Okay. I want to kind of clear the lane for you.
Mm-hmm.
Picard trailer from this past weekend, New York Comic Con. Thoughts?
Oh my God! Oh my God! I can't wait! Oh my God, I want to see that show so badly. I mean, okay. I'm a huge Star Trek fan, obviously. Next Generation was, I thought, such an awesome show, and it still is, except for possibly the first couple seasons. And Picard is in it, and oh my God, Riker is in it, and Troy is in it, and Hugh. You remember Hugh is in it. And of course, 7 of 9, one of the best characters from Voyager. Oh my God. Yeah. No, I can't wait to see it. In fact, we don't even have CBS All Access. I missed Discovery completely because we don't have it, but now we're getting it.
Has the husband been informed yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, he's all for it. He's all for it. He's not as much of a, sci-fi nut as I am, but he's like, oh God, yes, you have to get that show.
Yeah, I figured he'd know what the score was regardless, but I thought it'd be fun to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, and we also have to get Hulu. I'm sorry, because the Orville is coming back on Hulu instead of on Channel 11. So it's like, oh God. Okay, here's the list of new channels that we have to buy so I can watch these great shows.
Okay, this is so weird. I know nobody is listening to hear this discussion, but you just said Channel 11, which I have to assume is whatever your Fox station is on your carrier.
Yeah.
It's the same thing on mine, which is just weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like there's okay, yeah, sure. Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. cable service providers talk aside, what are your thoughts on Rise of Skywalker from what you know about so far?
Okay, I know very little about it, but I will say this. We were at the movies. I don't even remember what movie we were there to see, because when the Rise of Skywalker trailer came on, I literally cried. Oh my God, I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see it. I cried at the trailer. So, these things are huge. They have so much meaning for people who grew up with them that, it's big. It's big. It's huge. I can't wait to see it.
That is excellent. Well, Dorothy, I think we're just going to go out on top on that. That has been excellent. Okay. Thank you so much.
Right on. No problem. It was fun.
Thanks for listening to yet another production of the OSMcast, your podcast for everything awesome. You can find us online at OSMcast.com, OSMcast.com, or, wherever you find your podcasts, just search for OSMcast. You can also find us on the social medias, OSMcast at Twitter or on Facebook. Of course, you can also find our wonderful interview guru, the greatest living interviewer, John Robbins, at J5 is Live. Or perhaps you'd like to follow our amazing editor, Anna, at Angel Darkfire, or just me, at It's Basil Time on Twitter. Our theme song is produced by DJ Inabito, and you can find him online at djinabito.com. And once again, thanks for listening to the OSMcast. We appreciate you.